Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Meet the Fire Warmaster Barbael. That's right, he is finally out and released. And furthermore, there's also this event called Barbael's Blessing, which is a one-time event where you can claim rewards. Like, if you actually complete the second floor, you get a level 10 strength rune. If you complete floor 3, you get a level 10 speed rune and a 1 million food. If you're able to complete floors 4, 5, and 6, well, you can see the rewards for yourself. 50 Elementium, 1000 gems, I believe that's Tenacity Shield, and Tygus Trap. So really amazing rewards. However, only a very small amount of people are actually going to be able to do that. For the majority of players that are just collecting orbs one day at a time, one time challenge at a time, one daily goal at a time, it's going to take a while before we can actually get enough orbs to complete up to the second floor. So what I would recommend everyone, and I can't stress this enough because I see a lot of people spending their orbs already when they can't even complete any dungeon. What I would recommend for you is to save your orbs. Look, it tells you right there, on floor 1 you can get 40 orbs, on floor 2 you can get 60 orbs. So you need to complete floors 1 and 2 to even be able to unlock any single Warmaster monster. And if you actually enter the first floor, you can see that every single orb, or every single node, my bad, every single node costs 40 orbs. And if you scroll through and count all of the different nodes, there's actually 20 nodes on floor 1. And so, 20 times 40, you need 800 orbs to complete the first floor. And I've seen people spending and kind of complaining that they've spent 500 or even 800 and they've only managed to get past floor 1. And I'm like, come on guys, like you can just do some basic math. You're not going to be able to finish the first floor. So what I would recommend everyone and what I would encourage everyone to tell their players is to save your orbs until you have 2,000. Or it might be 2,300. It's weird because I think I saw the calculation to actually beat the second floor. You need 2,300. Whereas for some reason I remember Gortok being 2,000. So I'll let you guys know the actual numbers later on. But the most important thing you can do at this point is to just save your orbs and don't waste any time going through the first floor because you're not going to finish. You're going to get halfway. For example, I've just been saving all of my orbs on this account, and look, I have 755, so I have almost enough to complete the first floor, and that's because I believe I wasted a few when the Gortok dungeon came out just to make a video. So again, I can't stress this enough, just save your orbs until you have enough to complete the second floor. Or heck, if you want to, you can even save enough till you can complete the third floor, now that we know they're going to be doing special events where you get additional rewards based on whether or not you can get the Warmaster monster during the first week. Like, I mean, come on, a free level 10 rune just for completing the floor you were going to complete anyhow? You might as well save your orbs, it'll be way better in the long run. Now, the thing about the Barbael's Blessing is that it's a one-time event, meaning the next war monster that gets released, he's going to have a one-time event. So if you really like that war monster, you're going to have to use your orbs on that Warmaster to capitalize on the extra bonuses. And another thing I also recommend is you could also just wait for all the Warmaster monsters to be released and then decide which one you want. Because we've only seen 2 of them. We've seen Gortok and we've seen Barbael, and they're honestly both pretty amazing. Like, it's even hard for me to decide which one is better, which one would I rather go for. Barbael has a lot of total blind, he's also very strong. Gortok is like anti-immunity, he helps your team to be immune from stun and mega stun. So both are really good. Which one is better? It's hard to say, you know, there are so many factors. Because you got to take into consideration that you're probably only going to have him at level 100 for the majority of the game. Because it's so darn hard to rank up these Warmasters, because the only way to get cells for these Warmasters is through their dungeon. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Maybe you just want to collect as many Warmasters as possible, in which case you could just go after different ones instead of focusing on one. So decision is ultimately up to you, but I really can't stress enough how much it's important to just save your orbs until you have enough to complete the second floor. And with that said, you can actually test them out for yourself at level 130. You can see all of his amazing skills. I got to test them out and I fell in love with them, but now you get to test them out. And one thing I didn't mention in the video, which I realized after the fact, is just how even more amazing the total blind is. For example, a lot of monsters have hardened, a lot of monsters have some sort of immunity to negative effects, right? You know, Bulwark being really strong because it's a 50% chance to not get hit with negative effects. Artifact trait being even stronger because you can get hit with negative effects. Well, one thing I didn't really realize about Barbael, I did mention in my analysis video that he has 3 total blind skills, but one of them gives him an extra turn. So he can do 2 of them back to back, so it's almost like he has a double total blind. You know how we've been seeing double stun, or like how Kiahu has possession and freeze? Well, Barbael essentially has double total blind, which I think is cool. So for example, I can do Master of Blind that gives total blind to everyone, and let's say it misses. Look at that, it missed on Lucifer. Well, I have a skill called Trait Covenant, which applies total blind again. So again, it's like a double total blind. You have 2 chances to land total blind on all of the enemy monsters. But the cool thing about Trait Covenant is that it also disables a trait. meaning it's definitely going to land even against an artifact monster, even against like a bulwark monster. That's how amazing it is. But more importantly, against the artifact monsters, so you can realistically total blind everyone. Look at that, Lucifer, who didn't get total blinded on the first turn, is now trait disabled and total blind. So I don't know, I just like, I can't believe I didn't realize how even more powerful that is. And then taking a look at his other skills, Purifying Pact, Sunburn and Ignite to all enemies, and then massive damage to one of them. Look at that, everyone is already dying. That is just incredible. And that, what was his last skill? I think his last skill is immunity to blind and removes negative effects, massive special damage. Okay, here's actually a change that I didn't mention because this was announced post the time I made the video. So I thought it was really strange that he gives immunity to blind, because I thought that's not really strong. Immunity to blind isn't necessarily the strongest. Well, the reason this is actually significant and why you might want to consider running this skill is because there was actually a change to the immunity to blind trait and effect. This following piece of information is directly from the Social Point forums. Greeting Monster Masters, we would like to inform you of a change to the combat system that we believe will improve consistency and overall balance of monsters. We will improve the blind immunity trait. From now on, blind immunity is also going to block the effect of total blind. This change will be live today. It takes time to make a difficult decision for the good of a healthy and balanced combat system with a more logic and more easily understandable trait-skill relationship. This change might affect some of your current strategies, but also gives an opportunity to create new exciting synergies between your monster teams. Over the next couple of months, we will have more balancing changes to come that will allow players a greater choice in the monsters they choose. Balancing changes are a necessary part of the game, ensuring fairness and balance to the game environment for veteran players as well as newcomers. We would be happy to hear your thoughts about this change on our forum. So for those of you that aren't on the forum, who don't have an account on the forum, I would highly encourage you to make an account and give your voice, give some constructive criticism, tell them whether or not you like this change. And personally, I'm on the fence about it, because I've always loved the blind skill, and I always thought that monsters that had blind immunity weren't that powerful. And I mean, to an extent, it does make sense that blind immunity should block total blind. And likewise, I always thought that possession should block all forms of possession. It doesn't matter if they were special possessions like hacked or like glitched or any other possession. And honestly, I even felt like stun should block mega stun. So maybe they should also do that with the mega skills, like freeze should block mega freeze. But that's my personal opinion. But again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And again, go to Social Point, because I think that's where the comments really matter. But also definitely on my channel, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this change. And so with that new change to total blind, you do have to ask yourself, how effective is Barbael? Does this make him significantly worse, or does it not really affect him that much? I think we have to take a look at the monsters that have the trait immunity. Are they some of the top tier monsters, or are they not? We also have to look at the monsters that have an ability like Barbael's that gives your whole team blind immunity, because the reality is, if the monsters that have the immunity to blind trait aren't that great, well then it doesn't really have a huge impact on Barbael. And honestly, no real top tier monster comes to my mind that has immunity to blind. Tempest comes to my mind. Alex Bone, I'm not sure if he's immune to blind, if he's immune to daze. I'm also wondering, since blind is getting this buff, are other monsters with some pretty bad traits, are they going to get a buff? Because immunity to daze, that's not that powerful. Immunity to poison, also not that powerful. Nightmares. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, with that said, what are your guys' thoughts on Barbael? Now that you've got to test him, do you like him? Do you like him more than Gortok? What do you think about the change to the total blind? Do you think it's a huge nerf? Do you think it's a good buff to immunity to blind? Let me know in the comments below. And once again, be sure to join the Social Point forum and give your opinion on there. With that being said, I'm Armor Gaming. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.